Hi, I'm Carlin.
Hi, I'm Kevin.
We get to talk today a little bit more about Resilient First. And that is First Watch's wellness application that Kevin is going to talk to us a lot about. And we'll just see where it takes us. Kevin?
Thank you, Carlin.
Yeah.
Yeah, Resilient First is the division within First Watch that does professional training, which delivered directly face to face, and it's also facilitated with an app. And I'm going to go into sort of the background about what the training is involved with and why we do it, what it looks like, and sort of focusing specifically on the content that would be relevant to you and your team. So initially, we know there's a global health crisis, and it's getting worse. And really, the problem is it's really the care we offer is reactive, but it's really good care. But what we're suggesting is we really want to get out in front of this. We want to be proactive and preventative. So we believe, and we've been able to prove, that skill development through building resilient skills and some of the aspects of that will actually help prevent some of the things that are out there today that are really causing people problems: depression, anxiety, burnout, compassion fatigue, PTSD, and PTSI. So the first question is, what is resilience? And people define it a little bit different. The way we look at this is resilience is the ability to advance despite adversity. Now, how does that resonate with you, Carlin?
Yeah, I really like that. And sometimes I think I even want to change the wording a little bit to resilience is the ability to advance because of adversity, or not despite adversity, because I think adversity is what really gives us the chance to grow in our resilience. And I love this graphic because it looks like we're taking our brain to the gym, right, Kevin?
Right.
And I think that's a lot about what we're going to talk about today is how we can prepare in advance for things that are likely going to happen, especially in our careers with high intensity, high trauma, a lot of those things, a lot of cumulative stress. So that's kind of my take on it.
Awesome. No, I appreciate that, Carlin. What's really interesting is we all know people that have gone through some pretty amazing circumstances and some that have come out really strong on the other end, and maybe some that haven't. And so what we've analyzed is what's the difference? And what we've learned is that there's actually research around what's going on in our brain when we actually experiencing these levels of stress, what's happening with our initial response, our tendency to maybe flight or fight or freeze, kind of natural types of reactions. So when you start to look at that, we really know that it's certainly important for us to be clear about how we can calm ourselves, how we can remain sort of in the moment, and particularly under pressure. This year has been one of, with the pandemic, we've seen a lot of interest in mindfulness. We've seen applications out there that are very popular, and it's wonderful. It's addressing a need, and we all can benefit from that. Our approach is a little different. It's focused on the neuroscience, the proof behind it, and peer review research. And one of the things that's core to all this is the PR6, which is a predictive 6 factors of 6 domains of resilience. This is the definition of what we believe is pretty comprehensive of the human experience, elements that we need to address with regards to our ability to handle problems, how we are able to maintain some level of composure as we address different situations, having a clear vision on where we're going. Clearly, our health is important. We need to be able to sleep well and identify that as a foundational component. And then our tenacity is the ability to really stick with things, to have things that are important to us. And then the collaboration, which is the core domain that I think a lot of people have missed during the pandemic, is the ability to get with other people and talk with people of like minds that we care about in many different ways. So I'm going to share with you how this works. Is you are given an opportunity through an app to actually take a proactive assessment. That is the PR6 I just referenced. Then you're dropped into an automated coaching program that is clearly designed based on your results and your results only. So it's unique and custom designed for every person that does it. We also have instant help in there. So if you have a challenge, you need to talk to someone, it's already embedded, so it makes it pretty efficient. So the way this is designed is we take these combination of micro trainings that are available on your smartphone or your computer, and it all starts with the ability to assess what's going on in your life over the last 2 weeks. Now, why would we say 2 weeks? Well, the reality is we believe, things happen every day and life ebbs and flows. So some days you might be on top of the world, you may be feeling great. And what we ask for when you do this, and you take this, and you can take it more than once, you can take it multiple times over a year, is to be honest with yourself about how you're really doing in the last 2 weeks. That will give you a delta of where you've been before, but it'll also give you a score in the 6 domains I mentioned earlier. Included in there will be a measurement element of momentum to show if you are heading in the right direction or maybe if you're slipping. So the report is comprised of 6 pages. It comes in a PDF, and it explains each of the domains, and it explains where you are in regards to your answers. It gives you a full understanding and a clear idea of how you're doing as of the last 2 weeks. Then you are given the opportunity to continue to monitor this by given daily activities. We suggest a 5-minute a day micro task. It comes up where you are given, and it says, ask how you're doing, gives you a quick emoji check-in, and then you have the ability to track your skills and then your moods rather, and then you get access to over 700 skills. And these are comprehensive in their nature, and you may spend 3 to 5 days in one area, you may spend longer. But what we do know is people that stay engaged in this will see on average a 25% increase in their resilience scores, which is really a significant improvement over time by engaging in something on a small amount of time. What do you think of that, Carlin?
So if I could, I'll just share a personal experience. So when I was first introduced to ResilientFirst, I was going through a little bit of a rough patch, I'm not ashamed to admit. And so when I took the PR6 and I got my scores back, this was in April, and my overall score was 44. And I didn't at that point really know what that meant, but I'm used to getting straight A's, and I knew 44 couldn't be good. So I kind of had a choice to make if I wanted to just accept that and say, this sucks and that's what it is, or if I wanted to really make a change and see what I could do. So I dove into ResilientFirst, hook, line, sinker, jumped right in. And by May, within 1 month, I went from 44 to 69. Now, 69 I didn't think was still very good, and I knew I had a long way to go. But seeing that measurable increase was very motivating. So by July, I had increased from 44 to 89%. And my momentum was going in the right way. And, you can say, yeah, that's all good. It's just numbers on paper. But what happened was people around me started to notice that there was a change in me. I seemed more confident. I seemed more engaged. And that kind of is where the proof was in the pudding for me, is I noticed a change, but when those around me started to notice that change, I knew we were onto something really good.
That's awesome, Carlin. Thanks for sharing that. I've had a similar experience where working through the app and some of the trainings really have opened my eyes to around beliefs, irrational beliefs, and things that I felt that I've owned for a long time, and questioning those have really opened up my eyes to a lot of opportunities. And I feel it's a really positive self-development and self-care tool. One of the things that we were getting feedback from, particularly from folks in what we call the high adversity careers, is that we really needed to address content that would relate to them. There's no question that, if we can help build mental strength to those that are exposed to extreme situation, we really are onto something. And so one of the things that we notice in that approach is we really need to start to impact and start to show what it means to build the culture within the organization around resilience. And this is focused in the area of hospital staff, fire and rescue, defense, 911, call centers, law enforcement, and medical emergency personnel. And the statistics are not really very positive, and we know that. And it's been sort of the elephant in the room for a very, very long time. And there's a lot of great work being done post diagnosis. And so we know that if we can get on the front end of this, that we can start to impact some of these things. And the core to that is really some core principles around how do we affect each other in our work environment. And so we've identified 4 core areas around supporting each other. We want to help talk to each other if we're going through difficult situations. We want to be open and understanding that the work that's being done is really tough. Learn. That's what we're going to also do together as we go through this. And then as we advance through both our learning, getting to know each other, and through communication, we can really start to address this. And we break the training into 3 core components. There's operational challenges, there's organizational challenges, and the relationship challenges. Operationally, you're focused on having to manage crisis. You're dealing with civilian interactions, potential trauma and death, and people on their worst day. And physically, more recently, you potentially could be at risk. The organization, short shifts or lack of resources, procedures and paperwork, a lot of conflicts of things you may want to do, but what you have to do. And then if we can't really discern between work and home, we have a tendency to bring that home. There can be relationship challenges. You can have, it could be isolated, it could be loneliness, and there could be some disengagement. These are issues that are really important that we talk about how to work with. We also have a scale that we are able to measure. We measure the activity and basically a level of competence. Now, we call it the RARE factor, and this is something that is done in the app so you can continue over time. The more frequent you do this, and the more mastery you obtain, the higher you go on your scale. And what we do to supplement this is we have workshops. And these workshops are done either with people on your own staff that can be trained in the Train the Trainer module, or we will do it through our training staff. And these are broken down into 13 different WebEx, typically done via WebEx. And this enables you to be able to sort of keep people in the learning. They keep them as part of the overall approach with the organization. And something that we're real excited about, and it can really have some significant benefits to complement what you're learning when you use the app. We also promote this through, through posters with a QR code to help people engage. This enables them to be able to understand, what we're doing here is important, and this does matter. We also have had some pretty outstanding results for overall participation. Not only participation, but those that have participated show significant improvement. And this really is a significant benefit. If you engage, it's like you will see benefit, and we're super excited about it. So, Carlin, would you like to add anything?
Just that as we were talking about the PR6 and the daily micro tasks and how those daily micro tasks are, as Kevin mentioned, they're really targeted on your specific results and the areas that you need to improve on. And the thing that I really like about those daily micro tasks is they're really fun. It's fun to get in and start working through those things and to know that, it's pretty much tailored to me and my specific needs.
Awesome. Well, I think that is really a key component of this is the ability to measure activity. But not only are you measuring certain skill level, they're providing you lessons immediately to align with what you need to learn. There's a lot of assessment tools out there that will kind of tell you kind of where you fall into this sort of category, but there's very few that give you immediate results and immediate training that can complement that. That's why we're really excited about it. And people that continue to do this will see significant improvement, and we're very excited about it. So I'll just put my contact information up here. There's me and Mike Tagman. Happy to talk to you anytime, and we're really excited. And Carlin, thank you so much for your time and taking out of your day to make this happen.
Yeah, thanks, Kevin. We hope that this has been beneficial for all of you. Please feel free to reach out to Kevin or Mike or myself or your regional manager at First Watch, and we'd be happy to get you any more information that you might need. Thanks, Kevin.
Thank you, Carlin. Bye-bye.